you recall from our science class, you actually know that everybody and everything is energy, right? And everything is vibrating at different rates. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper into my explanation on energy, because we need to really talk about the quantum field. And I have talked about quantum physics with you here. Believe it or not, physics was a subject I completely ignored in school. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. And it's so funny how much of my life revolves around quantum physics now. All right, so why and how? Well, if you think about the quantum field, right, it's an electromagnetic field, right? And our world is comprised of quanta, hence quantum physics. And quanta are these tiny little particles of light, okay? And they all vibrate at different frequencies. If they're vibrating slowly, right, you can see a rock, right? That's vibrating very, very slowly, like rocks and minerals. If it vibrates faster, higher, that's like plants or animals or people. But we're all vibrating. We're all these things that are going even higher, right? Something that vibrates even faster, we know exists, but we can't see. The internet, how I'm coming across to you, right? The radio, all of those things vibrate super fast, but everything is vibrating light. And so energy waves with no specific form is what we call pure potential, right? And that is, what is in the quantum field, right? And when you really think about how everything is vibrating at these different rates, some are faster, some are slower, some we can hear but can't see, it stands to reason that energy can then get stuck in places, right? It could get stuck in people, places, or things. If you're around other people's energy, you might feel like an intense negative energy around somebody else. If you also are one of those people that do feel other people's energy, some people don't know how to feel it and not bring it into themselves, right? And sometimes you bring that into yourself, you don't even realize it. So let's talk a little bit about our mental body, okay? Everything begins with thoughts, right? And our IQ. And I've talked about IQ, EQ, and certainly SQ. And that's my whole position on what the most important intelligence is. It is your soul intelligence. But in order to get there, we have to talk about the other two. So if we start with the mental body, okay, everything starts with thought, right? And before, nothing actually exists, right? Unless we have some relationship or perception to it. So we literally create our world minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. Our universe is being recreated tens of thousands of times every second. Think about that. Doesn't that blow your mind just in terms of the quantum field? What also blows my mind is the fact that we only use 5% of our mind. According to neuroscientists, 95% of our brain activity is beyond our conscious awareness. That means only 5% of our cognitive activities, every decision, action, behavior is conscious. That's it. And when you think that just one human mind has 12 to 60,000 thoughts in a day, and thousands of those thoughts, right? 95% of them are the same ones repeating over and over and over, resulting in a limiting belief, typically, because 85% of those thoughts are also negative, critical, harsh, self-defeating, and often self-limiting. Can you imagine how damaging that is to keep all of those unhealthy thoughts, beliefs, and falsehoods stuck in your mental body alone day after day? So that's just the initial thought, right? What really magnetizes things is when you have emotion involved. Emotion is energy in motion, and you can feel emotions, right? You can feel anger through tension, or sadness through our tears, our holy water, depression just by withdrawing through life, and if your emotions get suppressed enough, that's when they cause dis-ease in the body, right, in the physical body, and it causes serious illness over time. So what if there was a way to like clear those emotions or unhealthy thoughts or those repeating self-destructive patterns and self-limiting beliefs literally out of your physical body or your mental body or your emotional body? And what if when you did that, your relationships improved and your work life improved and your goals were easier to accomplish, your team succeeded, your company thrived? Well, there actually is a way, and it's how you tap into your soul intelligence. Okay, everything, you know, is energy. And so that means we can shift negative thoughts out, and we can also download good thoughts in. We can also make sure that we're using the most powerful force field that we have within our bodies, which is coming right here, your heart. Do you know that scientists have also proved that the energy field around your heart is enormously bigger than the energy field around your brain? So all along, we're supposed to have been leading from our hearts, being heart-centered leaders and putting out that into the world. So think about this. We are all capable in any moment of tapping into that pure potential, that quantum field. We are capable of instantaneous transformation, but we have to choose it. So think about that. You can make a quantum shift individually, on a team, in an organization, with your family and your bodies. And the only thing that we're limited by is our lack of belief. That's what I've been talking about, is how important it is for us to focus on what it is we do want instead of what we don't want. You know, think about when you've actually experienced a quantum shift in your thoughts or your beliefs or your behavior. Or how about somebody close to you? Where would you like to make a quantum leap in a thought, a belief, a behavior, or possibility? What would that transformation look like? I would love for you to tell me something you'd like to shift in your life in the comments. You know, what are your beliefs around quantum shifts? Do you believe it's possible? You know, when you think about all of the things that happen, all of those synchronicities, that's really that coming together of things in unexpected or unplanned ways. You know, miracles, what we call miracles, are really the results of all of those synchronicities, right? But simply, it's consciousness doing what it does quantumly. Think about that. Miracles are mere potential turned into reality. And when you fully embody, you fully embrace the essence of that miracle, you actually begin living it. That's the greatest secret, is realizing we have the ability to shift and change and tap into pure potential in any given moment, because we're all light, we're all vibrating, and we have the ability to shift it. But in order to shift it, sometimes we need help. We're not always able to see how to shift it. We're not always able to jump out of that pattern, or even recognize what that pattern is that needs to shift. And that's where I come in. I actually have a methodology that I've developed that I call the soul intelligence system. And through that, I'm actually able to figure out what mental, emotional, and physical sometimes, or spiritual blocks are in the way from you being able to actually access and tap into your own soul intelligence, to lead from that place, to be free to actually live and express your life in the best version of you, the best way possible. How do you get to that? And how are you able to lead from that? It comes when you're aligned with your own mission, vision, values, purpose, and you feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourself. That's when you actually are tapped into that soul intelligence. But often we've got a lot of stuff in the way that needs to move for us to really be able to get in there. So fortunately for you, that's one of my specialties, as being the soul intelligence coach. I'm able to actually help you figure those things out, move them and shift them, and help you go forward to tap into that true potential.